We look at this familiar passage from scripture. Abraham intercedes for Sodom and Gomorrah. Since we are all here to intercede for our country, perhaps there is something we can learn from this passage. And while there is a lot to unpack from here, for the sake of brevity, let's look at 4 points. The first is Abraham came near the Lord. It is important we come near to the Lord. Intercession is not so much about asking for something as it is about coming near to Him. And see Abraham's attitude in coming. There is boldness and humility. It's a beautiful mix of, let me take this upon myself. And then he also realizes, I'm but dust and ashes. This combination of boldness and humility is a winning combination. Often, the people who are bold are not always humble. They may be modest, but not truly humble. And the ones who are humble may not always be bold enough to come forward. So, how do we achieve this rare combination? The answer is right here. We come near to the Lord. The more we come near to Him, the more we grow in boldness and humility. The second point, why does Abraham pray? Do we see any great fondness for Sodom and Gomorrah? Perhaps not. But we know he loves Lot a lot. We don't pray for others because we are right, they are wrong. We are in the light, they are in the darkness. Or simply because it's the right thing to do. We intercede because we love. That is always the best motivation for intercession. We must ask God to plant a love in our heart for the people we are praying for, the people on the streets, in the metro, in the locals, in our offices. We must learn to love them. They may not all be very lovable people. Lot wasn't. Scripture reminds us that Lot chose for himself. And what does he choose? To divide. We may be praying for people who are causing divisions. We may be praying for people who are self seeking, but we must still learn to love them. The third thing is Abraham prays 6 times. For the Jews, 7 was the number of completion, of perfection. Abraham stopped just short. My dear friends, we do not know which attempt will be the complete one. We just keep praying, keep asking. Sometimes we may not see results soon. In fact, we may see the very opposite happening. We may see confusion, irritation, prayers not being answered. Don't give up. We do not know which one makes it complete. We just keep asking. Which brings us to the next point. If Abraham could keep asking, how low could he go? He went as low as 10, but scripture reminds us in Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1, go up and down the streets of Jerusalem. Look around and consider. Search through her squares. If you can find but one person who deals honestly and seeks the truth, I will forgive this city. God is willing to save an entire city for just one good soul. Are we willing to continue interceding? I understand we have kept you faceless and audioless in the Zoom, but you are still seen and you are heard in the courts of heaven where it matters. So please keep this going. Let's continue interceding.